So here's the problem. Years ago, life insurance professionals would receive in-depth sales training, not only showing different life insurance products and how they work, but the advanced planning concepts that bring in the 5, 6, and 7-figure commission checks. Fast forward to today, and those types of training programs are almost non-existent. To solve the problem of inefficient marketing efforts and advisors stumbling around trying to understand how to do business in the advanced markets, Trained Advisor leads the way in showing top-level producers how to acquire, identify, present, and close advanced life insurance cases. Welcome to the weekly 10-minute concept training with Trained Advisor. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tyson with Trained Advisor. Hope you guys are doing well. First off, I want to thank you for joining us for our training this morning. I know you guys are all busy, so I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us, and I promise we'll make this valuable for you. So today we're going to be covering how to use lead magnets to draw your ideal prospects into your digital environment to sell to them, all without appearing canned, spammy, annoying. We've all been victim of that at some point, so we want to avoid that as much as possible to more efficiently and effectively sell to our prospects. Now, just a quick recap. The goal of digital marketing, whether it's email, social media, some other platform, is to get our ideal prospect into our digital environment. We're trying to draw them off of the platform they're currently on into our space. Now, the reason for that is that when we're on a platform like email, social media, we are constantly battling for attention. They say that the average attention span of a human is about 8 seconds, which, believe it or not, is actually 1 second less than that of a goldfish. Now, think about that. On social media, you've got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that are posting at the same time as you are. Emails, you've got people's emails are getting bombarded with things from work, from family, from friends. I mean, so you're battling for that prospect's attention. So we got to do what we can to grab their attention and draw them off into our space where we're able to capture their attention longer and be able to indoctrinate them, bring out emotions inside of them to the point where they want to buy or take advantage of our products or services. Now, a quick example of that and why that's important. Think about a Disney store at the mall versus a Disney store at Disneyland. Now, a lot of the times you're going to have similar, if not the same products at the two stores and the two locations. But how much more likely are you to buy stuff at a Disney store at Disneyland versus a Disney store at the mall? Now, why is that? A Disney store at the mall is constantly competing with other stores in the mall. So you can do what you can to put out advertisements, you can put stuff on your windows, but people are they're gonna walk by your store on the way to somewhere else. They may have their kids in the store. Their kids are, complaining about being hungry, so they have to leave faster. But if Disney is able to get you into Disneyland or Disney is then able to help influence your emotions, your thoughts. They're able to influence what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what you're smelling, so that they can bring you to a buying decision point faster or in a more efficient way than they can at a mall. Now, think about that in the different types of posting. A Disney mall social media post is something that you put out there that says, you need blank. So call me. You're hoping that the pain point that prospect is feeling is relevant enough at the time that they see that you offer a product or a service like life insurance, and they're willing to jump on that right away. Now, a Disneyland sort of social media post, it allows you to capture their attention more. That's the goal. You're capturing their attention more so that you can bring them into your environment. So you can continue to educate them. You can get them excited. You can help them understand why they need your products or services. And then they can either click to schedule a call. You can have your phone number on you there. You can have your email address. There's different ways that you can bring them to that decision point, that buying point, versus just a social media post where it's essentially handing out a business card and saying, hey, call me. So it's a lot more effective when you're able to get them into your digital environment. Now, there's a difference between prospecting and marketing that I want you to understand. Now, when I was younger, I lived in Idaho, and we would go camping all the time. I'd go with my sisters and my parents. We'd go for family reunions. And it seemed that anytime my cousins and I got together, we would always feel like we had to capture some sort of wildlife. I don't know why. We felt like it was the holy grail of capturing an animal, and especially squirrels that were running around. That was like, if we had done that, we had made it in life. And so we would run around all the time. And just picture elementary and middle school kids running around trying to catch squirrels with our bare hands. It never, ever happened. Until one day, I had an uncle that came over to us, and he said, all right, let me show you a better way to go about doing this. And so what we did is we got a box and a stick, and we propped up the box with the stick, and we put like a piece of bread or a roll underneath that box. And then we tied a string to the stick, and we went behind a bush, and we waited for that squirrel to come over to go eat that piece of bread or that roll. And as soon as that squirrel was under that box, we would pull the string, the stick would fall out, the box would come down, and we actually caught a squirrel that way. Now, we didn't know what to do with the squirrel once we had it, and I think we ended up letting it go, less than 3 minutes later, but we were ecstatic that we had actually caught a squirrel. So the thing that I want you to understand is that prospecting is like chasing squirrels around, trying to catch them with your bare hands. That's you sending out an email, hoping somebody calls you. That's you putting a social media post out there, hoping somebody sees it and hoping that they'll call you. Versus marketing is the art of drawing prospects into you. That's the art of bringing them into your digital environment, your digital space, so that you're able to better educate them, better able to bring out emotions inside of them, and bring them to a buying point, a decision point. So when it comes to the bait, how do we bring them into our digital environment? That's called a lead magnet in marketing lingo. And there's different types of lead magnets. There's videos, there's trainings, there's webinars, checklists, books, PDFs, special reports, white papers, and there's a number of different things that you can use as a lead magnet. And typically that's offered in exchange for the prospect's contact information. So that when you're saying, hey, it's almost like an ethical bribe. I'm going to give you X. I'm going to give you a video. I'm going to give you a training. And in exchange, I want you to give me your name and your email, or your email and your phone number, so that you can continue to market to them. You can reach out to them. You can contact them so you can stay in front of them. Now, what I want you to remember from this training is to always match the bait or the lead magnet to your target. Going back to my analogy earlier, what if I had used a big honking diamond as the bait for the squirrel? It's valuable, right? But it's valuable to us. It's not valuable to a squirrel. A squirrel could care less if you have a diamond. They just want to eat. So the bread or a roll was more effective than a diamond would be to draw them in. Now, when you're putting together your lead magnets and you're going to launch those, think about what will your prospect watch, what will they read, what will they get excited about enough to give you their contact information in exchange for that lead magnet. So I'll give you an example of how we did this wrong a while back. We were putting together a campaign where we were going after high income professionals. And it was in a certain profession where these guys are very busy and they are not used to hopping online for trainings and webinars, and that's exactly what we were offering. We were offering a free webinar, a free training, or a free that's what it was, in exchange for their contact information. So we were going to educate them on a tax planning tool that would be extremely valuable for them. But we didn't end up getting a lot of people on that webinar because these professionals were too busy. They weren't used to getting on webinars to take in their information. And so that was one way that we did it wrong. And so we were able to switch up that lead magnet, and we were able to match that bait or that lead magnet more to the audience and saw a lot more success from it. So think about the kind of lead magnets that you have and think about how relevant those are to your target market. Now, I want to show you real quick a way that we structured a social media post recently to get people off of social media and into our digital environment. So this is an actual client that we have. So the first thing that we do is we put a video on there to make people pause, to make our prospect pause. Now you'll notice that a lot of the times the videos they're not your typical marketing video or your typical explainer video that you would get from a big insurance company or financial organization. What we want to do is we want to be able to make the video interesting enough and different enough that it actually makes somebody pause. So it ties in a little bit. So you'll see that the text on that video right now says, get ready for your business. And then the next words that pop up are to launch. So get ready for your business to launch. And there's a guy skiing, he goes off a jump and he gets launched into there. So it somewhat ties in, but it's different enough to where it's going to make somebody pause. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to have an engaging hook inside of our social media posts to make them think about what we're offering. We want to have something on there to where they see that it's relevant and enticing for them. So for this post, we're talking about a $2.3 million tax deduction to cover risks that you already have in your business. And then the last thing that we'll put in there is a link to the lead magnet to allow them to engage. Did you catch that? We allow them to engage. We're not saying, hey, call me right now. We're saying, hey, just simply click here to learn more. We know you want to learn more about this. Just click this link and you can learn more about what we're offering. And that takes them over to the lead magnet. So you'll notice that in this post, we don't exactly say what that lead magnet is. And there's different times to do that and to not do that. So it's there. Let me rephrase that. There's times where you're going to say what your lead magnet is inside your post, and there's times where you're going to leave that lead magnet out. So play around with that. You can split test that and mix it up so you can do it both ways. But we actually got a lot of engagement off of this one post. So you'll see that. So this was a client that really wasn't familiar with posting on social media. She was able to get 23 likes on this one video. We've had 753 views so far. But I want you to understand that the efficiency or the effectiveness of that social media post is not the likes. Don't judge the effectiveness by the number of likes that you get. There's some posts that you'll put out there, you won't get any likes, and that's fine. But what you want to do is you want to have a link in there that you can track so you can see how many people are actually engaging with your post. So that's a training that I think we'll do at a later time, is how to track the links in your post. It's once you see the process of how to set that up, is a lot more simple than it might appear on the surface. So we'll touch on that at a later time. But again, I'd like to thank you guys for joining us this morning. I know you're busy, and I hope that's valuable for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My email's at the bottom there, Tyson@trainedadvisor.com. If I don't respond to the email right away, I apologize. I get a lot of emails. But if you connect with me on social media and you message me on LinkedIn, I tend to see that a lot faster. So anyway, thanks again for joining us this morning. We'll talk to you guys soon. Hey, that was some pretty good stuff, right? Do you want to take a deeper dive into how we're leveraging social media to increase the efficiency of marketing efforts for life insurance advisors? We've been working hard behind the scenes to put together a training that gives a closer look at both the tools and strategies we're using every single day. Go to linktoelite.com and get registered so you can be the first to know once that training goes live. Again, that's linked, the number 2, elite.com.